Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about this. It's a new steering wheel. Okay, so as you can see, it's the Formula 1 ESports V2 steering wheel. I got this a couple of days ago and I wasn't actually planning on making this type of video, but I was thinking to myself, there's a lot of new people coming into auto sim racing, and even though this steering wheel isn't new, it's actually new to a lot of people coming into auto sim racing, especially if you just bought the GT DD Pro package, or maybe the DD Plus Extreme, something like that. And as you know, on Fanatec, there's a hell of a lot of steering wheels to choose from. So I thought, actually, in 2025, it probably would be a good idea for me just to, go through the steering wheel with you guys, let you know what I think of it. We'll let you know what I think you might need it for, and then what we'll also do, we'll go through the wheel with a couple of games and see, give you my opinion on how I think the wheel performs in certain areas, so i.e. Formula 1, which is what the wheel is intended for, but also games like Gran Turismo 7 and maybe a bit of ACC as well. So firstly, we'll just talk about we'll just do a really quick unboxing. It's already, as you can see, it's already unboxed, but so that's the box you get. So you get a nice cool black box with some F1 logo on the side of it. Quickly inside, you get your manual, which is there, and you also get a bunch of stickers that come with it. Now these are a bit controversial for me anyway, but you get some buttons. Can you focus on that? There we go. Great, brilliant. But the problem is, these buttons, who are they for? You've got buttons on there. Look, you've got a horn, you've got a seat slider, like power mechanism, a windscreen wiper. Why are they like that? Either, if you're aimed at PC, I don't know, have them all numbered, something like that, or give us useful things like traction control up and down, brake bias, things like that, or even, what would be great, because actually this is aimed at PlayStation specific buttons. I've got a bunch of them on my wheel, we'll go through that in a minute, but that's stuff that I've made myself. You can buy the sticker sheet set from Fanatec. I think that's like 20-25 quid. You can get them on eBay as well, which is where I got mine from. But I think if you're providing buttons, which is great, I'm really appreciative that you give me buttons, but give me buttons with useful things on it. I don't want a horn on it or anything like that. Yeah. So, but that's that. And then the last thing you get, which is what you're going to need, is the bolts. That focus, probably not, but that's the bolts for the QR2 that you get with it. Now, when you order it from Fanatec, you get the option. Well, no, you don't. You get, well, actually two. You get the option of a free QR2, the metal one, or weirdly you can pay extra for the light out, and obviously pay more for the Pro. So, but anyway, so originally what I wasn't ordering it from Fanatec, but I didn't end up doing that. I was on eBay and I saw some guy, he had the obviously the V2 wheel, and he was selling it. He said it was brand new, unopened. He had it a month, but it didn't come with the QR2. So however he got it, I don't know how he got it, but I don't know if it was a present or whatever, but he'd obviously wanted to keep the QR2, but didn't need the wheel. So basically I got the wheel, he was selling it on there for 180 quid. So I think on Fanatec's website it's 240 euros, but then by the time you factor in for the UK customs and shipping charge from UPS, I think I ended up saving myself about 60, 70 quid. So I thought, well, actually, I've already got two QR2s. I've got a metal one and I've got a plastic one. So I don't really need another QR2. So, saving 60 quid, 70 quid, bonus. So that's exactly what I did. And it came the other day. So basically what to do, I wanted to give myself the weekend to try out the wheel. Originally, my plan is to actually do like a head-to-head between this and this wheel, so which is I absolutely love. You all know and you all love it, the McLaren GT3 wheel. So that's going to be my next video. But I was thinking, well, actually, let's just do a video for 2025 talking about the V2 wheel, give you my thoughts, and then in the next video we'll do like a head-to-head, like an overall video for that. Right, so let's take it off my rig first. Super easy. We all know and love the new QR2 system. Absolutely amazing. But so the first thing that when you take this wheel out of the box, I think it just screams high quality, professionalism. I mean, the whole wheel feels great. It's kind of heavy as well. I think it looks really nice. Why my camera not focused? There we go, properly. But right, so let's talk about the grips first. So as you can see, the grips have got this Alcantara feel on it. They feel absolutely amazing. They feel lovely. But from what I've heard is you can't race in bare hands with them. The sweat gets on it, the oils in your hands get into the Alcantara and it just slowly breaks it down. Now I'm using, where are they? I'm using these. So these are the OG Gear sim racing gloves. They've got a suede inside and that seems to be working really well on the wheel because I think to keep the longevity of the Alcantara on it, you're going to need to wear gloves, I think. So yeah, I think gloves are going to help it. There is a company called Pineapple Grips, and I might go down that route later on in the rear. They supply new grips and you can get new material, and I actually think this would really benefit from just some leather material on the grip. So that might be something that I do in the future. So that's the grips. Also in the grips, they've got rumble motors. Now that's brilliant. Don't work on PlayStation. You can plug this thing obviously to do a firmware update onto your PC. And then once you can do like a little test on all the different things on there. And one thing you can do is a test on the motors. So I know they're there and I know they work, but unfortunately on PlayStation, yeah, it's a bit of a shame that they don't actually work. So I think that'd be really useful. You could like program it to do things like, I don't know, understeer or oversteer, and you get that shake, something like that. So that will be really helpful. But unfortunately, yeah, they don't work. But other than that, I think the grips are well shaped. You can grip your hands nicely around it. Yeah, and the grips feel fine. Right, let's go on to the buttons. So as you can see, PlayStation. So I've got all my PlayStation buttons mapped out there. Now that's the way that it officially comes. Obviously on PCs and stuff like that, you can program these buttons to do whatever the hell you want. But as you can see, I've got my X, square, triangle up on one side, and then you've got all the L and R2 buttons on the other side. And then at the bottom middle, so where it says engine start, that's the PlayStation button. And then you've got the options and the share button there. You do get, where is it? This one here. So little joystick there, that twiddles as well, so you can turn it. That's fully functional. So that acts as your D-pad. So that works really well. But annoyingly, you've got this other button here. This one here, it's like a toggle. Now in Gran Turismo, that acts as like a mouse. So you can move like the cursor around and that'll work. But in Formula One, absolutely nothing. It's really, really annoying that doesn't actually, you know, like you go to bind a button, because this will be really handy for something like ERS if you wanted to change the ERS, like move it one way to go up, one way the other to go down. But unfortunately, that does absolutely nothing. But yeah, so you've got your basic buttons. I think this would benefit from like some rotary encoders or something like that. Like I said, either that or this, or the little toggle button here. Where is it? There, that one there. It just needs a bit more support for PlayStation, I think, because it's great that you've got all your buttons, but by the time you've mapped everything out, especially in Formula One, you probably want a couple more buttons to do things like adjust ERS, stuff like that. But that's absolutely fine. The buttons, they've all got this nice little click to them. They're all solid, so it doesn't really feel cheap or anything like that. The full front of the wheel, it's on the right side, is all metal, so that's all high quality. I love the added, because obviously this is the V2, the addition of the side lights. So when you're in Formula One, you get like a safety car or yellow flag, red flag, something like that, and these side ones all light up. It's all nice and bright. This thing really shines at night. I'm going to have a little video, I think I'll try and put it up somewhere, of me using this at night, and even the telemetry. So even though this is like is it like a 7-segment telemetry, something like that, so it's not a full-on OLED like you do get with the McLaren, it really does at night, it's really easily and clear to see, so that's absolutely great. What else? Oh right, now we're going to the shifters. So these how do I explain it? It's right. If you're coming from the GT DD Pro wheel and then you're jumping straight to this, you're going to have a shock because these things, they sound amazing. They click really, really well. You know you've engaged it, as you can hear. Well, I'm hoping you can hear. But it's very, very strong. Well, I say very, very strong. It's going to take you a while for you to get used to it. Obviously, with the GT DD Pro wheel, they're really, really quick. There's no magnets or anything like that, so you can just literally do that. But these are a lot tougher. So that's that's one of the two things that I've had to get used to. They're full on metal everywhere, so that's really good. You can upgrade these to the, I don't know what it's called, but you do like a pro version where you've got the shifter paddle and then you've got extra 2 paddles top and bottom. That's 200 quid from Fanatec, but I have seen a second-hand company doing for 100 quid on eBay. I think it's Sinoob. So whether or not, I probably will never go down that route. I don't see the need for me, but I don't know, never say never. So yeah, so that's the shifters. They look really, really good. As you can see, I've got the QR2 metal one. So if you did order it from Fanatec, that's the QR2 that you would get with it. And it's really reliable, rock solid, and a massive bonus upgrade from the QR one. Other than that, yeah, oh, that was it. The other thing I was going to say was, which we will talk about when I get this on the rig, it's the size of it. So, oh, let me get this one. So obviously I'm used to using the McLaren one, and this one, they can't really tell there, but obviously this is about 300 millimeters wide, where this one comes in at 270, so it is a lot smaller. And when it's on your rig, you will notice the difference in size. So that's another thing that you're going to have to get used to. But it took me about a day or two of racing to get used to the size of this, and now it feels great. All right, so what I think we'll do, I'll get this onto the rig. Actually, I'll put it on now for you. And then we'll just talk about how it feels to drive with. We'll start with Formula 1 and then we'll go over to Gran Turismo. We will, but literally there we go. I've seen a lot of people, when they're putting the wheel on, they pull this back. You don't need to do that. You just push it on and then it finds itself. That's the whole point. So you've got the rails in there, and if you pull them back, if you put it in slightly wrong, you could damage the pins. So guys, do not pull this back when you're put it onto the thing. Just push it on and it finds itself its way. Obviously you need to pull it back to take it off, but don't pull it back and put it on. You do not need to do that. That's the whole point. Just push it on, it finds its home, and it's perfect. All right, okay. That's that little that little moan rant over with. So have I got this thingy? Hold on. All right, let me. I'll bring the camera over, and then I'll just show you the startup sequence and then how it feels to race. Okay. All right, okay, guys. So I've got my PlayStation all booted up. So we'll turn. Where's the power? This is awkward with the cable in the way. Where is it? Okay. Press the button. Go for its little spinny motion. You should get a little dash light up, so that comes up. All right, we'll turn it on. And we are in. Right, so now what I'll do is I'll get the game booted up and we'll show you some footage of this thing in action. Okay guys, right, as you can see, we've got the wheel on the rig, we've got Formula 1 booted up, and we're just in the pits, but as you can see now, we've got the side lights working. Now, the white lights indicates that we're in the pits. But as you can see it in motion. It looks really cool. It looks really nice. The telemetry is there, so if I now go and leave the thingy, which now should start to see the rev lights go kicking in. All right, let's get round to the start finish line. Okay, so let's talk about how this feels. So right, the first thing, like I said in the first part of the review, was the size of this wheel. And that's the first thing you're going to notice straight away. If you're used to, I don't know, like using the McLaren GT3 wheel, like I have, I've been using that for the past year, and then you try this, you're going to notice the size difference straight away. But after about a day or two of using it, playing with it, you're not going to notice it, and you're going to start to really feel like, you know, you've got another piece of an F1. You know, you're using an F1 steering wheel, so you're feeling more engaged into the game, which feels really, really good. What else? The button layout is brilliant. I think what I really liked about the McLaren GT3 wheel, the button layout, was that you had some buttons at the top which were really easy reach within thumb distance. Now I've got 6 buttons, really easy reach. So, and obviously the big thing about Formula One is you need, you know, as you're racing, you need to be able to press buttons easily and quickly. So I've got my overtake button, I've got my clutch, I've got my pit button all along the top. If I need to make adjustments, like on my radio, or if I need to pit, then I've got it on the on my right side here. Even the actual D-pad itself is nice to use. So once you're on the straight, you can easily, well, actually you don't even really need to take your hand off it. So I can come down here and adjust the D-pad when you're in the menu. It's really easy to adjust. So another big thing that I felt coming from the GT3 wheel, obviously because that's a bigger wheel, now you come down, you've lost about 30mm overall, is the force feedback. So when I'm racing on Formula One with the McLaren wheel, I have the force, obviously in the settings here, I have that set to, everything's to 100, and then, you know, the natural friction all over the stuff, you set it to your own preference. But the in-game force feedback on the McLaren wheel, I had that set to about 75%. And that's where I was happy with. On this, I've had to lower this to 55% because the wheel is so much smaller now. The force you're getting out of it, you're turning a smaller thing, so you're feeling more force feedback. Now, I'm assuming over time, once my muscles get used to, you know, the small wheel and the increased force, I'll be able to slowly increase that back up. But yeah, that's the one thing you will notice is that, so I've got 8 Nm base, and I'm probably nearly only using about 4.5 Nm of force. But the detail's still there, don't get me wrong, because you can adjust your detail in the road, in the curbs especially, that's all good. But yeah, the one thing you will notice is that it's harder to turn if you're used to having it at such a high peak with the bigger wheel. Going to the smaller diameter wheel, you're going to notice a difference. But in Formula One, hence the name of it, ESports Formula One V2 wheel, this wheel is made for this game. Whoa, as I go and crash. Yeah, this wheel is made for Formula One. It feels great in the game, it looks great, and everything is functional as you need be. And like I said with the shifters, I noticed that they were quite heavy at first. Again, once you start using them, you're going to get used to them really, really quickly, and you're going to have a good time, basically. All right, so what I'll do now is, we'll now switch it over and we'll boot up Gran Turismo, and I'll just tell you what it feels like in Gran Turismo. Okay, right, we've got Gran Turismo booted up. The car I'm using for this test is a Peugeot 205 GTI, so it's completely different to the Formula One wheel that we were just, the Formula One car that we were just racing in. But also like I just said in Formula One, again, you're probably going to need to adjust the force feedback setting. Now, Gran Turismo is not as bad. A lot of the cars have got quite light force feedback anyway, especially the Formula One cars for some weird reason. So I think if you're using this game in Gran Turismo, I don't think you're going to be held back by anything on here. You might need to adjust the force feedback on some of the cars, like the GT cars might feel a bit heavy, some of the more high-powered cars. But the general normal cars are going to feel fine. The wheel operates exactly the same way, so you know, I've got my rev meter at the top. I'm not sure if, I haven't come across yet a time when I've had a yellow, like, you know, someone's come off on the track and a yellow flag's come up to see if the side lights come up, but I'm assuming they would because it's taking all the data from the game. There's no data that you can program in it. That leads me on to another quick little thing. So obviously you can connect this to your PC. You can do the firmware upgrade, but you can also connect it to Fanatec. Now in that, all the lights are programmable, but only on PC, because I think it needs Fanatec to run in the background. Because what I wanted to do, I wanted to change these shift lights to match the Formula 1 shift lights, because the Formula 1 shift lights go green, red, then purple. But unfortunately, you can't upload and save it to this wheel, which is a bit annoying. The only thing then, so I think if you're wanting to use this for Gran Turismo, you absolutely can. I think if you play mainly Formula 1, and then you also, once a week, twice a week, you play Gran Turismo, then I think you can get away with using this wheel. If you primarily play Gran Turismo, then I probably wouldn't advise this wheel. Go with a different wheel, like the McLaren GT3 wheel, or if you prefer a round wheel, something like that. But like I said earlier on, the only real difference now is the size. So, I mean, if you're driving a normal car, like the Peugeot 205 I'm driving at the moment in this has got a big round wheel, and then obviously I've got this small Formula 1 wheel, so authenticity is not there. So yeah, so if you're looking to using this wheel in Gran Turismo, then it's absolutely fine. Everything works functionality wise. You can still program all the buttons. I think it will come up with the GT/DD wheel, but that doesn't matter, because all you're just looking for the buttons like the R2, L2, stuff like that, and then you can reconfigure it to however you want. And it's all fully functional. But yeah, so like I said, the only thing that might hold you back getting this wheel for Gran Turismo is the size. Okay guys, so that is my 2025 review stroke look at the F1 Esports V2 wheel. It's a very good wheel. You're going to notice the step up from the GT DD Pro wheel to this. Like I said, everything just feels better quality. The shifters are far superior. The button clicks are really good. The grips are nice to grip, and the overall finish of this is good. Like I said, I think if they could literally have just added, a couple more buttons for Formula 1 especially, I don't know, maybe some encoders, something like that, that would be the icing on the cake. Obviously, you can get the higher end wheels of this version, which do include so many more buttons. But I think as a starter wheel, for like 250 quid, you're getting a lot of wheel, you're getting a lot of quality as well, especially, you'll be getting the QR2, and that's like a 70 quid add-on straight there. So if you was to take that away, you're looking at a wheel that's like like I said, 180 quid wheel. And wheels like this, I mean, this hobby that we're doing is not a cheap hobby, but if you can find the wheel that you're happy with, then you're set. Like I said, I think that's it for me. I'm absolutely set for the next good 4 years or whatever. I've got a round wheel if I ever do need to use it, which isn't really that much. I've got the GT McLaren wheel, which I absolutely love, and then for Formula 1 I've got this wheel. So yeah, so in 2025, I think if you're looking for a Formula 1 wheel, well, if you're coming into the Fanatec ecosystem and you're specifically looking for a Formula 1 wheel, then this is a very good shout. If you can afford the other ones, then yeah, by all means goes for them. But I think if you're looking for something that you know is going to do you well, then I think this is a wheel for you. Like I said, everything feels premium, it's all solid, and you're going to have a good time. Okay guys, right, I think I'll do this video. So like I said, the next video that I'm going to do about this wheel will actually just be like a head-to-head between this and the McLaren GT3 wheel. Because yeah, there's good and bad points on both sides, but like I said, it's really going to come down to the game that you're playing. But what we'll do is because they're both quite evenly matched in price, there's obviously bonuses to one wheel over the other as well. But we'll go through all of that once when I make that video. Okay guys, right, that'll do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some information about this wheel for 2025. Like I said, this isn't a new wheel, but it's a new wheel if you're coming to Fanatec. Like all of their stuff is new, so I thought it might be useful just to give you an updated video about this V2 F1 wheel. Okay guys, great. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got some use out of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, bye.